Have you ever been in a conversation that felt like a job interview?
I have been in conversations where I was the interviewer and did not realize it until it was too late.
What do you mean?
I ask a question, they answer. I ask another question, they answer. I ask another question, and at some point, they start looking for the exit because I have been interrogating them for 15 minutes without meaning to.
The interrogation conversation. It is one of the most common mistakes in English communication, and almost nobody knows they are doing it.
Why does it happen?
Because asking questions feels safe. You're not putting yourself out there. You're not risking anything. You're just asking. But from the other side of the conversation, being asked question after question with no contribution from the asker feels exhausting and slightly suspicious.
Suspicious?
When someone only asks and never shares, you start to wonder why. What are they hiding? Why are they so interested in me, but giving nothing back? The imbalance creates discomfort, even if neither person can name exactly what is wrong.
So questions without sharing creates imbalance.
And imbalance kills the conversation slowly. If you have ever asked someone lots of questions and still felt like the conversation went nowhere, you are in the right place. We teach real conversations here, not textbook English. Subscribe to the English Parent Lab. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
So what is the fix? Stop asking questions?
Start sharing after you ask. It is called the share-ask loop. You ask a question, they answer, and then before you ask the next question, you share something of your own that connects to their answer. Then you ask again.
So it becomes ask, they share, I share, ask.
Now it is a conversation, not an interview, because you are both putting something on the table. The exchange feels equal, the risk feels shared, and the other person stops feeling like a subject and starts feeling like a participant.
What do I share, though? Because sometimes their answer is so different from my experience that I have nothing to connect it to.
You always have something to connect it to. It doesn't have to be the same experience. It just has to be a real response. I have never done that, but it reminds me of. Or, I cannot relate to that at all, which is why I find it so interesting. Tell me more about... Both of those are shares. Both of them put you in the conversation as a person, not just a question machine.
So even saying, I cannot relate, but I am curious, is a share.
It is one of the best shares because it's honest. And honesty in conversation is so rare that when it appears, it immediately makes the other person trust you more.
Let me try it. Ask me something.
Have you ever lived in another city?
Yes, I lived in Johannesburg for 2 years. It was the loneliest I have ever been in my life, and also the most free. Have you ever moved somewhere completely alone?
I have not. And honestly, I think about it a lot. There's something about that kind of alone that sounds terrifying and necessary at the same time. What made it lonely? Was it the city or was it the situation?
See? You shared something honest. You have not done it, but you think about it. That is real. That is not nothing. And then you asked a follow-up that showed you were listening to my specific answer. Was it the city or the situation? Not just a generic next question.
Because I was listening to your answer, not just waiting to ask the next thing on my list.
The share-ask loop and active listening working together.
They always work together. You cannot do one without the other and have it feel real. Rapid fire. I ask you a question, you answer, then you share something and pass it back. Show me the loop.
Ready.
Do you prefer working alone or with a team?
Honestly, I prefer alone for deep work, but I get restless without people after a few hours. It is like I need both in the right amounts. Do you find you work differently depending on who is around?
Good. You answered honestly with a specific detail. Restless after a few hours. Then you connected it to them with a question that invites them to reflect on themselves. Next, what is your favorite time of day?
Early morning, before anyone else is awake. There is something about that silence that feels like it belongs only to me. Though I know people who would find that completely unbearable. Are you a morning person, or do you need the world to warm up before you join it?
Before you join it. That phrase is doing a lot of beautiful work. You made being a late riser sound poetic instead of lazy. And now I want to tell you exactly where I fall on that spectrum. Next, have you ever done something that completely surprised you?
I once signed up for a public speaking class because I was so terrified of it that I decided the fear itself was the reason to go. I was the worst person in the room for the first 3 weeks. Have you ever done something specifically because it scared you?
You shared something vulnerable. I was the worst person in the room. And then you invited them into the same kind of vulnerability with your question. That is how trust gets built in real time inside a conversation. When you go first with the vulnerable thing, you give the other person permission to go there too.
So sharing is not just about balance.
It is about creating safety. When you share something real, something slightly uncomfortable or honest or specific, you lower the other person's guard. And a person with their guard down has a real conversation. A person with their guard up has an interview.
Stop asking, start sharing.
Ask, share. Ask. That is the loop.
And watch the interview become a conversation.